Hi everybody. I want to do something a little different today, so bear with me while I work out all the things I want to talk about. I'm doing this because I think first of all, I think it's important for home bartenders, and it's important for professional bartenders, and just I think the world in general. I used to work for a company that was over 1,000 people, and 2 times a year, the whole company got together somewhere, and what would happen to me is on that first night, we'd have a welcome reception, and I'd see lots of people I hadn't seen in a while, and there would just be kind of chaos, and I'd be jet lagged and tired from travel, and I'd have a few drinks, and very often I'd wake up in the middle of the night with a massive anxiety attack, like debilitating, like feeling like I couldn't escape, like I needed to escape from my own body, and I just couldn't. And sometimes I would even have to excuse myself from the first part of the next day's activities. I was just completely unable to function. And the reason I'm talking about this, and the reason I'm talking about it here, is, it's been about a year since I started making videos, actually a little over a year. My first few videos were mental health related, about anxiety and depression and trying to find a way to work through those issues and make them manageable enough to live a healthy life and to not let it affect you and people around you as much as possible. I missed Mental Health Week this week, which I by chance started making videos during last year. But it all ties into that. I made a very conscious decision to call my channel Cocktails and Happiness, and I'd been thinking about it for a while, and a couple of months ago I actually changed the header. I don't know if you noticed, but it's now called Cocktails and Happiness, and there are a few reasons for that. One is because I want to talk about cocktails, and cocktails are something that do make me happy. I like the process of making drinks. I think it's creative. I think it's fun. But I also want to find a way to talk about things that bring me happiness, and the topic of happiness itself. Cocktails, things that make me happy, and happiness itself. Those are the 3 things I really want to be talking about on this channel. And the reason I told you that story about my anxiety during social settings and at those meetings of the company is because a few months ago I found this article called Hangxiety: Why Alcohol Gives You a Hangover and Anxiety. And I'll link it below. I'm not going to go through the whole article here. You can read it. It's very interesting. But it talks about some of the chemical reasons that alcohol affects you the way it does, and how that effect carries on through the night and into the next day, and why you can feel anxious and why you forget sometimes if you drink too much. And I think it's important to talk about these things because I'm very conscious of the fact that I do have a channel that revolves around alcohol. But that to me is just the vessel for it. It just happens to be the medium. But I do really want it to be about this idea of creativity and exploration and fun. And that doesn't have to be alcohol. And obviously sometimes things like alcohol and anxiety and depression, those kinds of conditions don't mix very well. And I'm very conscious of the fact that I'm talking about those things, and I don't want to give anybody the wrong impression. I just want to make sure that I'm being responsible in the way that I talk about these things, because they are both things that are in my life, cocktails and mental health challenges. And I want to find that happy medium for me and for people who watch. When I started last year, I had a really good response to those videos where I was talking about mental health in general and my mental health and how I was overcoming some of these things. And I did get away from that. And it kind of happened sort of naturally. This cocktail stuff sort of took on a life of its own, and I'm really enjoying talking about it and sharing what I know. But I don't want to get away from that other stuff either. That is important to me too. So if you're new here, this may not be the video you were expecting, but I want to start to give people a better idea of what they can expect when they come to my channel and watch my videos. But I also want to continue to be open and honest about my struggles with mental health and about the topic in general, because I do see the stigma being lifted to some extent, And while that's promising, there's still so much work to be done and such a long way to go. And I'd like to be part of the solution. I'd like to be part of helping people if I can. I also want to stress that the article, it does get quite scientific, so please do read it. Hangxiety is just a colloquial term that was made up to talk about this. It's not a medical term, it's not a clinical term. So I hope that all makes sense. I should also say that I chose to make this part of the Home Bartender series for bartenderatlas.com because, as I said at the beginning, this is an important topic. It's important to think about the effects of alcohol as much as the enjoyment of it. Not all social situations and not all fun has to revolve around alcohol. That's the weird paradox I feel of having a cocktail themed channel is that I don't want it to be all about just the alcohol part. Yeah, I hope that will make sense. I'm a little sad that I missed Mental Health Week, but just because it's not Mental Health Week doesn't mean we shouldn't continue talking about mental health and about the way we cope with it sometimes. And with that out of the way, I hope you have a really great week. And I will be back soon with a different video. That's all I got for today. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Thanks for hearing me out. And I will see you soon. Bye.